Types of design pattern. We know that in the year 1994, Gang of Four suggested 23 design patterns, and all these 23 design patterns can be categorized into 3 different categories. Other than these 23 design patterns, there are so many other design patterns are also existing in our present market. So let us go through the type of design patterns. So now, as per the design pattern reference book, that is the design pattern elements and reusable object oriented software, there are 23 design patterns which can be classified in 3 main categories. So they are creational, we are having structural and behavioral patterns. So we will also discuss in our tutorial another category of design pattern, that is J2EE design patterns, and under this one we will be considering the MVC design pattern. So now let us go for each and every category individually. So at first we are starting with the creational design pattern. These design patterns provide a way to create objects while hiding the creation logic. That is the main theme behind this creational design pattern. That means here we shall create objects under the classes and hiding the creation logic of that object, rather than instantiating object directly using the new operator. If you are using Java, then there is one operator called new, with the help of which you can instantiate one object in the computer's memory. This gives more flexibility to the program in deciding which objects need to be created for a given use case. So what is the use case? Use case is nothing but one functional requirement of the software. So which object is to be created for a given use case, we can decide on that. So creational design patterns are having following design patterns are coming under this category. So abstract factory, builder, factory method, prototype and singleton design pattern. So now let us go for structural design patterns. These design patterns concern class and object composition. So that means object of one class will be used in another class. So that is known as the object composition, that is a has-a relationship between two classes. So concept of inheritance is used to compose interfaces and define ways to compose objects to obtain new functionalities. So under this structural design pattern, we are going to have this set of design patterns. So that are adapter, bridge, composite, decorator, facet, flyweight and proxy design patterns. We will be discussing each and every one in our tutorial with the detailing, with the detailed concept and with the implementation in our Java code. Next one is the behavioral design patterns. These design patterns are specially concerned with the communication between objects. Whenever you require a communication between objects, then you shall go for this specific category. Under this behavioral design pattern category, we are having the following design patterns. So they are chain of responsibility, command, interpreter, iterator, mediator, memento, observer, state, strategy and template method and visitor design patterns. We shall be discussing each and every one in our tutorial. So in case of J2E design patterns, these design patterns are specifically concerned with the presentation tier. So what is the presentation tier? We know that we are having in our software, we are having mainly 3 different tiers. One is the data tier, next one is the logic tier and the last one is the presentation tier, which will be interacting with the user through some user interface. These patterns are identified by Sun Java Center. So under this J2E design pattern, in our tutorial we shall cover the MVC design pattern, we shall go for its implementation, we shall discuss using some class diagram and one sample Java code. So in this way, we have discussed what are the different types of design patterns and categories of design patterns which we are going to cover in our tutorial. Thanks for watching this video.